Hey, what's going on, guys? It's FiresprayXL, and I'm back again with another cringy ass video for YouTube. So today we're going to be trying to figure out whether or not you should buy the Ram 2. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the deal itself. So you get the tank itself, a garage slot, of course, 2,900 gold, and 3 days premium. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys read off on the specs themselves so that you can see it for yourself and so that we can try to shrink this down as quick as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and shut up and let you guys read. So starting off with the basics, it's a Tier 5 Premium American Medium Tank. So my immediate first impression of this vehicle is that it's kind of like a combination of several vehicles that you already know, such as the M4 on the hull, as well as the AC-1 Sentinel. On top of that, it also has a bit of influence from the Crusader, that being within the gun itself. So it has 76 millimeters of frontal hull armor, 63 on the sides, 38 millimeters on the rear of the hull, 76 millimeters on the front of the turret, 76 millimeters on the side of the turret, and 38 millimeters on the rear of the turret, with a top speed of roughly around 38 kilometers an hour. So with this vehicle, you shouldn't be expecting to do too much on the flanking side. So I honestly have not played this vehicle yet, and you guys are going to get to see my first impressions of this vehicle. With that being said, I think it's about time that we jump into some gameplay. Let's get into that shit. So yeah, this is my first time playing with this vehicle, and I can tell you that it isn't exactly the fastest, but at least it does get to its top speed rather quickly. Turret traverse seems about average, nothing special there. So yeah, let's go and try to help this T-34 over here on the side. Gotta bounce off of the turret. Now, its reload time kind of does remind me of the Sentinel, the Tier 4, I think it's the AC-1. That was a terrible miss, I know. So gun depression for this vehicle, it doesn't really feel like an American or British, to be honest with you. Like, it's nothing special. I don't really know the particular numbers. It almost kind of reminds me of like a Russian tank with its gun depression. So it's not like crazy awesome here. So that was our first kill with this vehicle. Not really being all that useful in this game. While it does get to its top speed rather quickly, it definitely feels a little bit sluggish. I do think that the Sentinel AC-1 is a bit faster on the top speed, but I think it's definitely a lot slower on its acceleration. It could be worse, but it also could be a lot better. There's our second kill of the game. So yeah, that's the first game. Let's go ahead and jump into the second gameplay. Let's do that right now. So yeah, it definitely feels like a hybrid between the M4 and the Crusader. You know, with being the same gun. It's terrible going up hills. It's just a little bit sluggish. I'm definitely a fan of the reload time. It's pretty amazing, actually. I don't remember what the Crusader's reload time, but I'm not sure if it's quite to the same level. Now I know I am playing like a complete jackwagon right now, but I am kind of trying to test out the vehicle and not just go ape shit. Again, it's kind of awkward with its gun depression because with it being an American and a bit of British engineering behind it, I just feel like that this is kind of awkward. I'm not saying it's like terrible, but you could definitely do a lot better. Another thing that this thing struggles with is definitely penetration. Another thing you might have noticed is this does not have high explosive rounds. So yeah, that ended tragically, and I apologize about that. So yeah, let's end this shit. So here are the post-game stats. Now, there's nothing really to speak of right here. You can see that I didn't really do too well. It also didn't do too well in the credit profit. It's definitely a bit saddening to see this, but I guess it's also running, you know, all the different types of provisions. Destroyed no one, so again, did nothing too special here. Now, I'm not going to lie, I don't really yet know how I feel about this, as I have not really had much time with this vehicle. I will say that I do think that it's kind of underwhelming in its maneuverability. It definitely leaves a lot to be desired. I do find it also kind of strange that it does not have high explosives. Like, I've literally never have seen this before in a vehicle, at least that I can think of one right off the bat. Now, as far as the armor goes, it's nothing like crazy special or anything, but I do think that it is kind of interesting that it has the same protection on the front of the turret as it does on the sides. So I definitely think that the armor could be one of its like upsides to it. I think one of my favorite aspects of this vehicle is its reload time, as I think that any player that would be using this vehicle would probably agree. 2.7 seconds is rather impressive for a tier 5, you know, even though it is kind of a smaller caliber gun. So it definitely will play a lot like the Crusader in that aspect. And I definitely think that this is a great option for people that really like the Crusader and wanted something maybe with a little bit more protection at the cost of, you know, just less maneuverability. Another downside to this vehicle is its view range, which is only 244 meters. Now again, it kind of reminds me of this vehicle, and it really isn't really all that much different. I'm actually kind of shocked that they actually brought this vehicle back, because with it being a supposed rare vehicle, it really doesn't seem like it's really all that rare, which in a way it's kind of interesting that it is kind of like that, but you know. So now it's time for the big question of the day, and that is whether or not you should buy this vehicle. It depends on what kind of player you are, and from that I mean, like, if you really do like the Crusader, then this is definitely a good alternative. However, if you do prefer a faster vehicle, then I would definitely almost recommend just going with the Crusader. In my opinion, I'm not really sure if this is worth $15, but I will say it is kind of interesting. To be honest with you, I'm probably gonna have to spend more time with this vehicle to really give an indefinite answer for this one. So far, I almost want to say that it is, but on the other hand, it's really not. Being that one of the biggest factors for me is actually the gun depression itself. I mean, penetration is one of the issues, but I actually find that the gun depression for me personally is the biggest issue. Also, I want to note that the armor, it really isn't all that dependable. I mean, if you are top tier, I'm sure this is going to be pretty good against tier 4 opponents. Now, going up against vehicles in tier 6, I would say that this might feel just like a tad bit underwhelming as far as like alpha damage, even though you're going to be spitting out rounds rather quickly at 2.7 seconds, which again is really impressive. Just remember, if you do not purchase this vehicle, more than likely, again, you will see it again. So at the end of the day, just remember, it is always up to you. I think in its tier, it can do all right. I'm not going to say that this is going to be legendary. I don't really see you making a ton of credits with this, but I will point this out, is that I am running all the provisions, and I am taking out a healthy dose of ACPR, which I really strongly recommend that you actually do. By the way, I am going to be making a video on the new Goose tanks, both the tier 7 and the tier 8, so if you are interested in that, just be on the lookout for those. So if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you did not like this video, well, I don't fucking blame you, because it really is kind of an odd vehicle. And if you haven't already, please make sure you drop me a subscribe, as it would definitely be greatly appreciated. I really do hope you guys have a wonderful day.